On the frozen Mongol plains, where the wind carries ancient whispers, a boy rose from hunger, betrayal, and solitude. This is the story of Temujin, the child who became the greatest Khan the world has ever seen. This is the rise of Genghis Khan. Night of blades, the frozen Mongol plains groaned like a wounded beast. The northern wind howled across the open land, sharp enough to cut through bone. Clouds hung low, swallowing the moonlight, turning everything into thick, suffocating darkness. Even the breath of horses rose like smoke and froze almost instantly. Then a shout tore through the silence. "Raid! Leave your tents." Lamps went out one by one. Stakes ripped from the ground. Mothers pulled their children close as screams spread like fire across the camp. Arrows sliced through the dark. Shields cracked. Horses whinnied. The night had turned into a battlefield. At the center of the chaos, 4 horsemen surrounded a small tent. One rider slashed the entrance open. Inside, a fragile boy crouched beside his mother. Fear shimmered in his eyes, but something else hid behind it. A spark waiting. The rider growled, "That's the child we came for." The mother jumped in front of him. "Don't touch my son." But he stepped forward anyway. Just then, footsteps and clashing steel rushed toward them. 2 tribesmen charged in. "Protect the boy!" Steel met steel, sparks burst. Blood spattered onto the frozen ground. But the attackers were more. Moments later, the mother and son were dragged out into the open. No one could help them. Everyone was fighting for their own lives. The leading rider lowered his face close to the boy, studying him. "So you are Temujin. We finally found you." The boy's eyes widened. "Why me? Who am I?" The rider only smirked. Before he could answer, thunderous hoofbeats echoed from the hills. Another group of warriors stormed in, firing arrows that tore through the darkness. The attackers fell back. The newcomers pushed them away and freed the mother and child. The boy trembled. Who were they? His mother cupped his face, her voice shaking. "They are afraid of your blood. You are born with a destiny that keeps men awake at night." He blinked. "Destiny? I'm just a weak boy." His mother gave a faint smile. "No, Temujin. One day you will be a Khan, a great Khan." It was the first time he had ever heard his name spoken like that. That night, among burned tents, icy winds, and the bitter scent of blood, a child was pushed toward his fate. This child would one day be known as Genghis Khan. But this was only the beginning. A beginning filled with fear, pain, and a fire that had not yet fully awakened. The blood pact. The sun had not fully risen, but the snow-covered plains were already glowing. The fear of the night was fading, yet the burned tents and wounded groans reminded everyone that peace was still far away. Temujin sat among the tribal leaders. The cold bit into his face, but something inside him felt harder than before. The boy who trembled last night was silent now, observing everything with sharp eyes. Chief Borochi said in his rough voice, "This attack wasn't random. Someone guided them here." Another elder muttered. Their target was clear. They wanted the boy. All eyes turned to Temujin. A veteran guard bent slightly and said, "Son, your father Yasuge was a great Khan. Your name threatens many." Temujin's mother added softly, "And there are those who fear the day my son grows strong." For the first time, something other than fear rose inside Temujin. "Resolve," he said quietly. "If they want to kill me, maybe I stand in their way." The leaders were taken aback. These words sounded too heavy for a boy of his age. Just then, the tribe's bravest young warrior, Jamuka, stepped forward. He was Temujin's age, but carried himself with the confidence of someone older. Jamuka smiled and extended his hand. "I see you as my brother. Anyone who comes for you must face me first." Temujin took his hand. There was warmth in the grip, a connection forming deep and unseen. Jamuka whispered, "One day we'll ride together and shake the earth with our horses. You will be Khan and I'll stand beside you." Temujin allowed himself a small smile. "And what if I wanted to stand beside you?" Jamuka replied, "A man who is born to lead never walks behind others. You're not made for that." They cut their palms and let their blood drip into a small bowl. An old chant was spoken. This is a blood pact. Loyalty in life, loyalty in death. A cold gust passed through them, but something burning rose inside both boys. Everyone saw it. 2 boys, but their shadows were already larger than men. Suddenly a guard ran in, breathless. We captured one of the attackers alive. Everyone rushed toward the prisoner. A wounded man lay in the snow, shivering yet defiant. Temujin stood before him. "Tell me why you were looking for me." The prisoner spat. "Because you hold the future of your people. If you live, many thrones will fall." Jamuka leaned close. "See, they fear you even now." The prisoner's breath grew weaker, but his last words fell like stones. "Your destiny will shake the land of tribes. Rivers of blood will flow. Because of you. In your name." His eyes closed. A cold wind swept across the camp. Temujin tightened his grip on his small sword. His voice was steady for the first time. "If destiny demands strength, then I won't stay weak." Jamuka nodded. "Then we must prepare. Our enemies will return." Behind the mountains, the sun rose. The light was redder than usual. A new morning had come, and with it Temujin's first real war. Valley of Hunger. The first winter storm had settled over the Mongol plains. Snow whipped across the land as if the sky had torn open. Tent flaps banged, horses snorted nervously, and the tribe prepared for another test. After the attack, the tribe decided to move deeper into the mountains to hide their young, Khan from enemy eyes. The land was harsh but safer. Temujin walked beside his mother and a small group of guards. Snow reached up to his knees, but he didn't complain. Since that night, something had changed in him. A silence, a hardness. His mother whispered, "Are you tired, my son?" Temujin shook his head. "No, if we stop, the enemy will catch us." Jamuka rode beside them. "Aunt, this boy won't accept tiredness now. I can see a fire in him that wasn't there before." Temujin smiled faintly. "I wish this fire was in my hands too. Right now all I know is how to run, not how to fight." Jamuka replied, "You'll learn. Leaders aren't made of iron. Time shapes them." The caravan crossed a narrow mountain pass when Chief Borochi suddenly raised his hand. "Stop! Something is moving ahead!" Everyone froze. A faint shift in the snow, 2 glowing eyes, then a growl. A massive grey wolf stepped forward. Its hot breath steamed in the icy air. Its eyes were red with hunger. Guards drew their swords instantly. Jamuka said, "Wolves don't come alone." More are nearby. Temujin scanned the slopes. Shadows moved in the snow. "They're circling us." A heartbeat later, 4 more wolves emerged from the storm. Their hunger mixed with the tribe's fear. Boirochi shouted, "Protect the horses! Without them we die." The fight began. Swords clashed. Shields cracked. A guard screamed as a wolf tore into his leg. Jamuka jumped off his horse, spun his spear, and drove one wolf back. "Temujin, take your mother behind us." Temujin didn't listen. He stepped forward with his small sword. His heart thundered, but his legs didn't shake. A wolf lunged at him. His mother screamed. "No." Temujin shut his eyes for a moment, but didn't step back. The wolf sprang. He swung his sword by instinct. The blade cut across the wolf's muzzle. The beast stumbled away. Jamuka yelled, "That's it. Don't let fear in." Temujin gripped the hilt tighter. This time his hands were steady. Boirochi finished the last wolf and shouted, "Everyone move! We must not stay here." Within moments, the wolves vanished into the snow. Silence returned, except for the tribe's heavy breathing. Temujin looked at his hand. There was blood on it. His mother grabbed him. "Are you hurt?" Temujin took a shaky breath. "No." And for the first time, "I wasn't afraid." Jamuka placed a hand on his shoulder. "Today you proved something. The enemies looking for you are right to fear you." Chief Boirochi stared at the mountains. "We can't stay long. Our enemies are like wolves. If we find the right path, our survival begins." Temujin looked at the sky. The sun was hidden behind clouds, but its light still touched the snow. "One day, I'll be a light like that, bright enough to show a path even in storms." It was the first battle of his life, and the first victory. Fire of betrayal. Deep in the mountains, the tribe settled in a new area. Less snow, more wood, and a small spring that never fully froze. But peace was only an illusion. Fear was quietly spreading like roots under the ground. Temujin trained every morning. Riding, archery, swordplay. He knew the enemy would return, and next time he might have no one to protect him. One morning, as sunlight touched the peaks, Jamuka called out, "Let's compete today. We'll see who shoots farther." Temujin grinned. "Ready to lose?" Jamukha lifted his bow. If you want to become Khan one day, learn to hit your mark first. Both boys laughed. But behind a nearby tree, a man watched them with cold eyes. He was from the Taichut clan, the same clan that hated Genghis Khan. He slipped away and approached one of the tribe's elders. "It's time," he whispered. "The tribe is tired, the leaders are weak, and that boy is growing. If he's not stopped now, it will be too late." The elder hesitated. "This is betrayal. We lived under his father." "His father is dead," the man snapped. "And if the boy lives, he'll rule over all of us one day. Do you want to bow before a child tomorrow?" Silence. Snow often hides guilt very well. That evening, when Temujin and Jamukha returned exhausted, a group of men stood waiting. Boy Rochi approached them. "Come with me. A council meeting has been called." Temujin felt something wrong immediately. The air carried a strange heaviness. Eyes followed him like shadows. Jamukha whispered, "These faces don't look friendly. Stay alert." Inside the main tent, 3 elders sat stiffly. Their expressions were cold, their welcome absent. One spoke. "Temujin, we have decided something. Your presence is dangerous. Enemies know your name. For the safety of the tribe..." Temujin narrowed his eyes. "First, you want me to leave?" The elder exhaled. "More than that. You have become a burden. Their arrows chase you, not us." Jamukha stepped forward, furious. "He's not a burden. He is our future." But the elders were too scared to listen. Another said, "We have decided. At sunrise, Temujin will be cast out, alone, without guards." Temujin's mother rushed in, tears streaming. "Are you mad? A child cannot survive alone." The elder replied coldly, "If he dies, the tribe survives." The words hit the tent like thunder. A fire grew inside Temujin's chest. He spoke quietly. "If my death strengthens you, I'll go. But remember, history never forgets traitors." Jamukha grabbed his arm. "I won't let you go alone." Temujin stopped him. "No, this is my trial. Stay with the tribe. One day, I will come back." The night was heavy, as if the mountains mourned. Temujin packed a small bundle, hugged his mother, and stepped alone into the snow. Jamukha watched from afar. Snowflakes fell across his face, but there was no cold in his eyes. Only fire. Temujin had stepped into a loneliness where most futures die, and a few are born. Prince of solitude. Loneliness in the mountains is sharp. Even sound freezes. Temujin's feet sank deep into the snow. The night was dark, and the wind cried like a wounded spirit. No path, no torchlight, only white silence. He looked back at times. No one. The tribe had abandoned him. The same people his father once protected had thrown him into the wilderness. He finally knelt, pressing his hands into the snow. "If I'm meant to die, then I'll die fighting, not crying." His eyes burned, but fear was fading. Something new was forming. A rough edge of courage. A rustle came from the bushes. Temujin snapped to alert, blade drawn. Heavy footsteps approached. A tall man stepped out, broad shoulders, frost in his beard, a spear in hand. He studied Temujin, then said, "Boy, what are you doing out here alone?" Temujin replied, "My tribe cast me out." The man paused, then sighed. "Then you're not alone. I was cast out once too." He stepped closer. "My name is Betrayal, a hunter." "And you?" Temujin answered clearly. "Temujin." The hunter stiffened. "Genghis Khan's son." Temujin nodded. Betrayal placed a heavy hand on his shoulder. "If a Khan's son stands alone in winter, then fate has chosen a hard road for him. Great men never get easy paths." Temujin asked, "Is my path finished?" The hunter chuckled. "Finished? No, boy. You're one of those who win, not the ones who quit. You must learn something important. A man can grow strong even in solitude." He took Temujin to his small shelter, a wooden hut with a warm fire and dried meat stored inside. The hunter said, "There are 3 things that make a man strong: hunger, cold, and enemies. You have all 3. You'll grow fast." Temujin spent several days with him. He learned spear fighting, setting traps, reading the weather, and most of all, controlling fear. The hunter said, "You win a battle only after you win your own heart. And to win your heart, it must be strong." One night by the fire, he added, "When I was your age, I was betrayed too. Today I rule this mountain. You can carve your own path as well. Temujin stared into the flames. I will return. But I won't return as the same boy. I'll become a Khan no one can cast out again. Bortagun nodded. Remember, the real enemy is inside. Kill your fear and no one will defeat you. A few days later, Temujin asked for permission to leave. The hunter pulled him into a strong embrace. Go, boy! There's a light in your eyes I've seen only in leaders. Your story is just beginning. Temujin looked at the snow. The same snow that once felt cruel, now seemed to show him the path. He walked down the mountain. His body was young, but his shadow had grown long. From solitude, Temujin had forged something his enemies feared most: willpower, a will that would shake the world. Rise of the Khan. When Temujin descended from the mountains, he saw the world with new eyes. He was no longer the boy cast out by his own tribe. He was someone who had walked through loneliness and come out sharpened by it. For weeks he traveled across plains, forests, and icy fields. One evening, he saw smoke rising far away. Rushing forward, he climbed a hill and froze. His tribe, destroyed, tents burning, people crying, men wounded, children hiding. The Taichut had struck again. Temujin's heartbeat roared. These were the same people who abandoned him. Yet he ran toward them. He shouted, "Those who live, stand with me." A few young men stared in disbelief. Temujin? The same boy. But Temujin no longer looked like a boy. There was a silent fire in his eyes. Jamuka limped toward him. I knew you would return, but not like this. Temujin held his shoulder. No one dies today. Not my tribe, not hope. Down the valley, enemy riders circled with spears. Temujin looked at the sinking sun. Its crimson light reminded him of the night he first felt fear, and the night he vowed to outgrow it. He raised his voice. Why do we always run? Today this land will see who we truly are. Those who want to break us will hear our roar instead. It was the first time his voice carried command. People crawled out from broken tents, their hands shaking, their hearts tired. Temujin lifted his sword. If fear rules your heart, stay behind. If pain rules it, walk with me. We'll see who is stronger, us or the wounds we carry. Silence. Then an old guard spoke. I stand with you, son of the Khan. Then another. I stand with you. Soon voices rose from everywhere. We stand with Temujin. The boy they cast out had returned as their leader. The battle began. Temujin charged like a flame. One blow knocked a rider down. Another shattered a spear. He did not hesitate, not even once. Jamuka fought beside him. Let the tribe see who their Khan truly is. A Taichut commander screamed, This boy isn't human, he's a storm. And in time the storm won. When the dust settled, the only ones standing were the ones standing with Temujin. Boirochi bowed. I have learned something. A Khan is not chosen by the tribe. A Khan is chosen by destiny. People circled around Temujin. He was silent for a long moment. Even he hadn't fully expected this day. His mother whispered, Today you did not take your father's place. You made your own. Jamuka lifted Temujin's sword and placed it in his hand. This blade belongs to a Khan. Your journey does not begin today. Your empire does. Voices rose from every side. Khan Temujin! The mountains echoed. The winds carried the name to the sky. And so the boy, who once wandered alone in hunger and cold, stood as the ruler of his own fate. This was the moment when Genghis Khan truly began. From betrayal to destiny, a lonely boy rose to become a Khan who changed history forever. Thank you for watching. Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more stories like this. By